have you been able to digest the film from this past weekend, and if so, what jumped out at you?
Yeah, you know, Stanford, I thought we played really well for a long period of time, and we just, a couple bad shots here, a couple breakdowns in the defense of the second half. And we know our formula, and 8 threes and a half doesn't help our cause. So, you know, close, but not good enough. And then Cal, you know, we just made some mistakes late. We started really playing hard when we were down. Really happy for the guys how hard they played, but we got ourselves down a little bit too far and couldn't make some plays down the stretch. And then sometimes you know, people can make those types of shots. Hopefully, you know, how do we put ourselves in position? We're not in that position, and so just got to keep getting better. We've been in every game. Every game's been a 3-point, 2-point, 6-point, 4-point, 1 possession game. We just got to learn to finish better. And execute on both ends late in games.
It seemed like, aside from a breakdown here or there on defense, that you got enough out of your defense, but scoring 55 points, is that enough? Can you?
Yeah, no, the Cal game was a little bit different. And, you know, listen, we're not, you know, last year the difference on our team is we started defending the 3-point line and then shooting better. Right now we're kind of struggling at both. And Stanford game, you know, it was foul shots. You know, we grinded, we fought. We just missed some foul shots and shots down there. And you know, you got to make shots to score. I felt like shot selection. I felt like we got some good ones early. They did a really good job of packing the paint, making it difficult to get it into Isaiah, and it forced us to shoot jump shots. And I felt like we shot probably too many in the first half at 16. We got to find ways to get into the lane and get to the foul line. I thought we did that in a more aggressive approach in the second half.
Your team seemed like it was in a little bit of a state of shock because, you know, you had this personnel change. How much of that was a factor?
I don't necessarily. I don't feel like I felt like the Stanford game. I didn't feel like a state of shock. I felt like we had a really good lead. I think it was 12 with 8 minutes to go, 9 minutes to go, and we had command of the game. And you know, they started getting hot from the 3-point line. I thought that's where you know, late in games with Quad A with an established point guard, that's where you might see it. But for the most part of the games, I didn't feel like we were out of sorts per se.
Then you switched your guards from game to game.
Yeah.
You look like you're looking for a playmaker.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, when you lose a guy he was shooting 50% from 3, 50% from the field, and then had a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, or even better. That's a pretty significant loss. But I thought our guys handled it pretty well. I thought Elijah in the first game, he didn't make any shots, but defensively I thought he was playing pretty good. We decided to make a change, you know, trying to get some offense from somebody, and we felt like, you know, starting Jamal Bay could give us a boost because he's a really good player and a guy that, you know, could put 10 or 12 points on the board, and he did against Cal. He was really effective, especially in the second half. And you know, you're an inch away from winning both games, and we just got to figure out ways, you know, to hopefully not put ourselves in position, get better leads, and hopefully pull out those games in the close.
You said it's going to be kind of a point guard by committee type deal. Is it going to be like a game by game feel as to who you go with as a starter, who you kind of lean on?
I think right now, yeah. I think I thought Marcus had some really quality minutes. He didn't play a lot, but he showed a lot of poise out there. I was concerned how he would be because he hadn't played. He looked like he had been playing all year, so that was a plus. I felt like Raekwon came in, and he obviously gives you another guy who can make a shot. He's a good 3-point shooter. He has no fear. He came in and knocked down the first one. We tried to get him. He got 3 more. He wasn't able to knock him down, but we know he can. Those will be hopefully good things for us as we move forward. But you know, you go back to like offensively, are you getting good enough shots? And I felt like for the most part, we took some quick ones, but for the most part we got them. We just didn't make them.
Isn't Quad A's hard, difficult, disappointing? What is it you can just tell us about?
I don't, you know, to be honest with you, I've moved forward. This is what we've got. This is who we are. This is how we have to win. And you know, sometimes things like this happen. They're great learning experiences. We just gotta, you know, we gotta rally. We've got good players in the program, we should be able to win. And you know, you know, sometimes it's, you know, positioned by committee is a big loss, but everybody's got to pick up and do a little bit more, and that's what we hope for.
What is a true point guard?
Yep.
Do you have to have a true point guard out there?
You know what? You don't. I don't think you do. I felt like David wasn't a true point guard. I felt David was a scoring guard who could play the point guard. He did a great job for us, led us to an NCAA tournament and Pac-12 championship. You know, you know, you go back to like our statistics, regardless point guard, two guard, what, we have to limit our turnovers. We're one of the worst turnover teams in the country. We've got to be able to hit open shots. We're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the country, and one of the things that we've always held our hat on is defending the three-point line, and we're 8th in the league right now. In the last 2 years, we've been number 1. And so those are areas, I know that's more of a simple version, but it's really true. We've got to do a better job in those 3 areas, and if we can, we'll be successful. That's the bottom line.
Putting some of Guade's responsibilities, putting those on Jaden, is that too much to ask?
Not necessarily. I'm not putting it on Jaden. I'm putting it on everybody. You know, it's what we talked about, turnovers. Everybody take away one more. Everybody get one more assist. You know, everybody, you know, one more pass from good to great, and we'll shoot better. We'll not turn it over as much, and we should be better. It's not about Jaden. It's not about Isaiah. It's not about Nas. This is about our team. And you know, we know we have enough. Now we've got to become better in certain areas if we want to win. And I know these guys want to win. We work on it every day. You know, those are the things that we've just got to be able to do.
That said, you did kind of issue a challenge to your upperclassmen
Sure.
After that Cal game. What kind of response have you seen from them in practice?
They've been really good. I mean, more of the response is not necessarily I want you to score more or I want you to do this. I want you to be. I want you, the energy coming from you know, you guys. I want the energy in practice, and the you know, I thought I was really impressed with how we responded after the UCLA game and coming out with that fight. And you know, you can lose games, but you never want to lose the fight that think that somebody else played harder than you. And I want the leadership from the juniors and Sammy and the seniors to lead that. And that's what I mean when I say more. I want more of that. I want more of that passion, the fight, and we're going to get this thing right.
Is that something that comes natural from these guys? Because obviously last year you had that with David. David was just sort of natural with that.
Yeah.
And certain people have that.
Yeah.
You know, with this trio, is it something that's natural for them, or
I don't know if it's natural. I think, you know, Nas is still learning. I think Hamir has got great natural leadership abilities. He's a guy who cares about others. He's always thinking about others. He's always trying to pick others up. Sammy, the same type of deal. They care about others, and with that, I think that the way that they approach practice, the way they approach everything, and the way you approach winning and defeat is you know, where I'm looking for that leadership to be. And everything's going to be okay. The sky is not falling. You know, you know, you don't want to lose, but you got to learn from your mistakes so you can stop losing. And those guys have had, you know, Sammy was here when they had won 9 games. Nas and them were part of the transition. They've learned a lot. You know, start using your, you know, your experiences to help the younger guys. And how are we going to get through this? You know, it wasn't pretty our first year, a couple of games. This year it's a little bit different. We're losing games by 2 and 4. Then it was we lose by 30. Virginia Tech can be like, oh my gosh, that's when the sky was falling.
People have doubled up on Isaiah before. What was different on your trip to the Bay Area?
I felt like, you know, they're just, I felt that they're playing really, really physical with him. You know, it's one of those things. We had played Reed Travis one year. He went to the foul line like 40. It was 42 to so-and-so. And, you know, you're like, gosh, you know, how does a guy go to the foul line that many? Well, you go back and you watch the tape, and he's getting hammered. And so, you know, teams, just like I had a great high school coach, and he'd be like, we got 3 big guys. There's going to be 15 fouls. You know, we're just going to keep trying to battle them and bury them. But Isaiah's doing his job. He's doing what? He's got 3 guys on him, and other guys have to step up. We got to be able to make some shots. We've got to be able to go to the glass, and try to get some putbacks. That's where Nate Roberts has been a big factor. He was a big factor in the Stanford game for us. And, you know, you'll see guys like Raekwon, you know, where they can't double them, they can't pack it in, and where a guy can be out there and make a couple threes and change the complexity of the game.
Why has Oregon State been such a problem team for the Huskies the last few years?
I think he's a really good coach. I think they play a real, you know, not a lot of ball screens. They're a really cerebral team. They've got one of the best players in the league, in Trace Tinkle. He can hurt you in a lot of different ways. He can hurt you in the three. He can hurt you in the post. He can hurt you passing the ball. Ethan Thompson, who's, you know, the Thompson twins, the old Thompson twins. The brothers, you know, have given us fits. I think 2 game winners. You know, our first year, last year, another OT game. Ethan's a heck of a player. He can penetrate. He's upped his scoring, taken on a lot of his brother's responsibilities. Zach Reichel's a much improved player. They got one of the best shot blockers in the league, and you know, Coach Tinkle does a great job of putting them in positions to be successful. Thompson and Tinkle combined 51% of their offensive production, so we know what we have to do. It's just a matter of can you do it. But they've had a really good year so far, and it's going to be a great contest for us, great challenge.
Hey, how is their zone different from yours?
Gosh, that's a good question, Percy. You know, sometimes it looks like more of a matchup than it is for ours. Is more 2-3 front. Sometimes theirs is like a 3-2 front. But active size, they've got obviously a great shot blocker in the middle, which creates a lot of problems down there. But I don't know if there's, other than maybe some of the rules. I don't really know much about other than how we're going to try to attack it.
You had a deeper rotation in games.
Yeah, sure.
Bay Area. Is that something that you continue? Does that help, or does it cause other problems on the other side?
Well, I've always believed, philosophically, I've always believed instead of playing 2 guys 10 minutes, I believe that you get more production playing 1 guy 20 minutes. And so that's been a little bit against what I believe, but you know, we're trying to find that answer, trying to find somebody that can really help us and elevate our chances of winning. I think we got a lot of guys that have that ability, and we're just trying to find that right formula.